Hi everyone, it's Lehman with the Lace Covered Skies. I'm here today with, I believe this is part 4 of these mini lap books, and I'll just do a quick recap of what we did last time and what I did off camera. So we had to sew 3 things off camera. One was just to take this piece, this narrow strip that's going to go on the side that's the most narrow. We just sewed around. And then we went and we sewed this yellow piece. We just ran a stitch all the way across onto the green paper. We then took the green paper and ran a stitch all the way around onto this floral paper. And then we took the floral paper and we ran a stitch down this way and a stitch down this way. So now it's attached to this piece, this panel right here. Then we took, I want to use this for writing space, so I took something that you could potentially write on, and I lined this panel on the inside with it, and then another piece of floral paper. This is from Jenny All Sorts. Another piece of floral paper, and we sewed it together. So I did a zigzag stitch down this way and a zigzag stitch down this way. I'm now gonna put glue down here. The reason why I didn't sew this is because it's not going to fit in my sewing machine because of the way this file folder is. So I will go ahead and take, I think I'm going to use this art glitter glue if it isn't too clogged up. I should be looking for, I guess it's stainless steel pins, but it's never really labeled. All right, so I'm gonna run a line down this way, which is harder than it looks because I can't see. Glue is not coming out that well. Okay, let's see. I feel like every time I put the pin in, it's pushing whatever is clogging it down. And then when I try to squeeze the glue out, then that piece is... Okay, I hope the whole video isn't going to be me trying to unclog this. I'll move on to the next glue bottle if this doesn't start working. I think that did it. All right. All right. Let's try this one. But this one's a little difficult because, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten that out. And I am going to do this for the top as well because I don't want this to be a pocket. This didn't get sewn down, so I'm going to apply glue there as well. You could leave it open if you wanted this to be a pocket. All right. Then I am going to go to this pocket, and I do want this to be left open to be a pocket, but I don't want the bottom to be open. So I'm going to apply glue here. And you can see it's starting to come together. Now we did this last time. We made this little pocket here. So I'm going to go ahead and unclip all of this. And glue is oozing out, so this plastic is stopping it from sticking to the other paper, like the other side. So there we have that. That's going to be a pocket. Now, what's going to go here, so let me show you the finished, well, not finished product, but so far, so you can see where we're going. This flips down, and this is going to flip out. So that's what we're going to work on now, this piece right here. So let's go ahead and take this strip of paper. We prepared this last time. It's a piece of coffee dyed paper and a piece of pattern paper. And I am going to glue this to line the back. Now this part's going to be a pocket. So actually let me go ahead and ink this. I'm like inking my wall. All right, so I'm gonna glue this down all the way around. I think I want this side to show because I like that coffee dye better on that side. So I'm just gonna put glue all the way around. This on right up to that edge. And then I am going to take, oh, that's kind of cool, the glue is making like a little bit of a pigment around here. I don't know, that's showing up. Now I'm going to glue this way to leave the top open for a pocket. So there we have that. Now we're going to have to hinge this on here. So I am going to take a piece of paper that's this pattern. Hopefully I have some left. If you guys could only see the mess I have over here. Okay, cool. I also just wanted to mention that last time I noticed my microphone was making weird noises. I hope it's not doing that this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut a little sliver of this. I just kind of go to the edge of my paper cutter here. Actually, I think I should have gone to this edge, but it's fine. This isn't going to be holding anything too heavy. So we're going to go ahead and ink first. Actually, I think I'm gonna fold it first so that it doesn't get all over my hands. I should use a scoreboard for this, but that's why it should be a little bit wider as well. This strip of paper, it'll make folding it a little easier, and it'll make the hinge stronger. Then I will go ahead and ink it. All right, I'm going to take a sip of tea really quick. All right. I am then going to hinge it on like this. I've chosen to hinge it on so the coffee dyed paper is showing when it's folded. You could do whichever way you like. And when you're putting the hinge on, just make sure it's swinging the right way. Kind of like, probably, I've never installed a door, but it's probably the same thing. Like you want it to be swinging out. So in this case, this closed side of the hinge is going to go to the edge of the paper, and the open side is going to go towards the rest of the lapbook. So what I'm going to do is put some glue right here to adhere it there. And make sure that the pocket is on the bottom. I mean, I guess it could be on the top for a top tuck. That would be perfectly fine too. It actually might even look better because then that would show, but then we are going to go ahead and put glue on the other side of the hinge. Actually, let me make sure. This is bending a little bit, so let me put a little bit of art glitter glue in there just because this little nozzle is smaller. Okay. All right, now I am going to put some glue on here. And adhere it onto the very edge of this file folder. I think I'm nearing the finish line for these retro journals after I finish these mini Lapbooks. Well, I shouldn't say that because I do pre-film, and I think that you guys are going to see a lot more. You're going to see videos out of order, just to let you know. All right, so I am going to make sure that it's really on there securely. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Okay, so let's leave that to let it dry. And let's work with this since it's in my hands. Actually, I don't know if I can. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and work on, let me fold this in. Let's go ahead and work on this hinge right here. Not this hinge, this panel. The middle panel. This is what's going to happen to the middle panel. It's going to have a pocket, and it's going to have a short pocket with this little envelope, and then a long pocket, and then there's going to be a pocket on the top right here. So this part's already done. So this just tucks under like that to hold it closed. Oh, of course it's already done. It's on the done one. So we are going to start by grabbing this piece, and this is what we did in the last video. This was the fourth thing that we needed to sew. Sorry I didn't mention that in the recap. It gets so confusing, but this is going to be turned over, and it's going to be attached like that, but I want a gap here, so I'm going to cut off some of this. So let's go ahead and make sure it's straight. I'm gonna ink the top, and then I'm also gonna ink the top of this that's gonna show above. And what I did is I just glued it in because it's not going to fit through the sewing machine. So let's go ahead and add glue all the way around, except for the top, because that's going to be the pocket and we don't want to close that up. I think that's one of the trickiest parts of making this. I forget what needs an opening, what needs a closure, because then the order matters. All right. I just want to make sure it's on there well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start working on the pockets that go here. I already pre-cut some papers and we are going to make the square pocket first. So you can go as far over as you'd like. I'm leaving this much room because that's going to be a pocket, and I'm going to fold the paper up to make the body of the pocket or the envelope. That's going to be the body of the envelope, and then this is going to be the flap with the closure. And I already inked around this paper, and I already inked around this paper. So this is going to go right here, and this is going to go down there. Now, the width of these two need to be the same. And I'm going to go ahead and make the closure right now. And the closure is a little bit tricky. So let's first attach this. Yesterday I made up a whole bunch of little closure things. And I think I'm going to use this. I want the blue to go on the blue. So I'm going to grab my crocodile. It doesn't feel dry yet. I think because I had the cap closed on this container. Let me see if I have another one. Okay, I think I pre-made this. Alright, so I punched a hole. I have a video where I show you how I make all of these envelope closures. It's 3 pieces of cardstock glued together, and then, well, I punched a whole bunch of circles with this circle punch. I think it's 3/4 of an inch. Of course, it could be any size. And then I glued them all together, and I punched a hole right in the middle. I am then going to take a brad. We'll use this brad, and I think I need a washer. So let's look for a washer. Here it is. All right, I'm gonna eyeball this envelope. It's gonna go in the middle, so let's go ahead and punch the circle or punch the hole. Just eyeballing to make sure it's centered. And then I am going to make my sandwich. It's going to be the eyelet, the cardstock circle, the washer, and actually I'm going to make sure I bend this up just to make sure that the string is going to have room. And then I'll go ahead and put that sandwich right into that punched hole and fasten the eyelet. I've really learned about the crocodile a lot more. Okay, so now that we did that, we're going to make the string closure. I have a string here. I just made sure that it would go up here and wrap around at least once and have a little bit of a tail to attach it to the inside. So what I did is I took a needle and threaded this, and then I'm going to go in here and just aim it down, straight down, and like sew it through. Not sew it, but punch the needle through so I can pull the thread. Of course, it's going to be difficult now that I'm on camera. Alright, so let's pull the thread through. And of course, we want to make sure that the thread is in there securely so that it will be able to do its job. So I'm going to tie 2 knots to make sure that it's larger than the hole. So that it doesn't just pull through the hole. I feel like I should pull you guys a little bit closer. Alright, so there's that knot. And then I am going to put some glue. When I'm putting the glue, I'm going to make sure that this crochet thread is pointing straight up, so that it's pointing straight up like that. And then I'm going to just kind of fold it, kind of let the glue set, because the next thing we're going to do is do some sewing. This sewing is just mostly going to be for looks. I'm going to sew a line here, and then I'm going to close up the envelope, and I am going to sew all the way around. And this will close up the envelope, but remember to sew this part before you close it up like this. So this is going to be one line on its own, open like this. And then it's going to be Have I been too close? Okay, I'll explain that again. I'm going to sew a line right here and then close it up and then sew a line all the way around. So if you want to go ahead and do that right now, you can pause the video and go do that and then come back. Now the reason why we wanted this to stick up is when you sew this line, the stitch is also going to hold that thread in along with the knot and the glue. So we're making it really secure. So once you do that, it's going to look sewn in like this. Like there's going to be stitching there and there's going to be stitching all the way around, but this is an opening, so you don't want to close it and stitch it there. And then I'm going to go to the sewing machine, just take this piece of paper and sew all the way around. That's where this is just like fake stitching, where it's not really doing anything. And then after you do that, so sew the envelope, sew this piece of paper. We're going to come back for part 5 and I will show you how I glue it on here, because that part was where like I was kind of messing up because of the way the pockets are going to be. But if you have any questions, please go ahead and leave them down below. I hope it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Okay, that totally scared me. As I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, I hope it's starting to make a little bit more sense now that the pieces are being put together. Kind of like IKEA furniture. It's not just a pile of papers right now, but it's actually starting, you can see the pockets and things like that. So I hope it's starting to make a little bit of sense, but if it doesn't, please make sure you leave me a comment down below with a question. And if you just wanted to use these videos and this series as a loose guide, then hopefully it helps you as well. But thank you so much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.